Well, thanks for your patience and welcome to CWS as it is. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Dr. DaSilva, this is your first time here. Can you orient our audience by just giving us an idea as to who you are?
I am Simpson DaSilva from Ghana, who was once um, Foreign Minister of Agriculture
Hmm.
in the Ghanaian government. That's about 32 years ago. And I did extensive work in agriculture, food, nutrition, and health linkages going back 40 years. So I've actually been in the field working with people, trying to educate them in the concept of how to eat healthy or eat right
Hmm.
so that they live healthier lifestyle.
Why is it necessary to have this conversation on food and nutrition security in Guyana?
It is because of the lack of consciousness by the people, and I am very concerned about the current state of affairs, especially because of the fact that I know so much. And when I go and I meet with a lot of people, they, they are very ignorant about certain basic facts. So I want to play a role to help to educate them so that they would join in this revolutionary movement to become healthier, to have better choices terms of the food, and as a result, they would live healthier lives. A
Hmm.
matter of fact, on my way to this event, I met some young children, and what they had in their hands were monosodium glutamate. This is what we call here locally AG. And AG is a banned substance, and it's unfortunate that a very high percentage of the people still use AG in their food. So apart from bringing this level of consciousness to the people, I think there's a lot of work that I would have to do, a matter of fact, a team of us would have to do on the ground to help to not only educate the people, but to work with them so they can set the change to live healthier lifestyle.
It's interesting that you brought up Aji, and I just wanted you to spend a minute on that because there are so many Guyanese who have grown up cooking with Aji and would argue strong. I have not had that in my meat. Well, I don't know if I go to a restaurant and they use it. Most restaurants don't, but I've not had it for over 30 years necessarily. But why are people so adamant about not giving up Aji?
Allow me to go back a little because um, the fact is that aji is in most of the ingredients that are sold in the stores. In other words, you have aji in some adobe seasoning, you have aji in corn curds, so kids get it from the very young age. You have aji in what they call Bigfoot now, which are all those sweets that are given to children, even babies use them here. And aji is a very addictive substance. So it is as addictive as how crack and cocaine or heroin is addictive to the human being, is addictive as cigarettes. So when from a very young age, which has been happening in Guyana, this Caribbean, Latin America, I've been to most likely all Latin American countries, and you have the same problem. In America, you have the same phenomena. The ultimate word in monosodium glutamate is hidden. So what happens? It goes to the brain, affects the cells at the level of the brain, so one becomes addicted to it. And that is the reason why people have a problem. But there's an additional problem here in Ghana. The people have the tendency of saying that the food doesn't taste good without adding. And that challenge for me to the people is resolved by simply trying to find out from them what are the specific tastes of the different foods. And when I go there, you find that generally people don't understand sometimes the various tastes of food. In other words, carrot has a very peculiar taste. The same thing which is sweet, and Korea, the taste of that is bitter. So if you add sugar to Korea, you will have sweet and bitter. But you cannot expect a bitter food to taste sweet. You enhance that bitter food with onion, garlic, shallot, thyme, and so on. And that would, whatever you add to that food is the taste, the original taste of the food plus the initial or the additional ingredient. So the aji has or has nothing to do with the taste of that food. That is an artificial itself, or it's a misconception of what the taste of food is. So I challenge people generally. Tell me what is the taste of aji, and generally, no one can tell you what is the taste of aji.
Hmm.
I just make the food taste, but aji just adds to your the satisfaction of the crave for the monosodium glutamate, which is the addictive substance. Unfortunately, I was able to get many people, almost 90%, a matter of fact, 99% of my cases, I get them off of aji by following some basic steps and principles. But the
How,
first,
how did you manage that? Yes,
uh,
trade secret, right?
no, the fact is that I have to let them know that A, what they thought was wrong. Because many people felt that they cannot do without the Agi or the Agi food. So I explained the fact that that is a misconception and that is false, it is wrong. If you say today, I can do without the Agi, that means you can do without the Agi.
Hmm.
And then if you take the action by not having any Agi or tube or any of those things in your home, then you're forced to use what is there. And what happens, I would tell them to uh, finally bring in foods like the lemon, the lime, or grapefruit. In addition, bring in tamarind and pepper and those kinds of foods. And it helps. Coconut, even coconut, raw coconut, raw bora, um, raw okra, raw okra, because you now are switching from the addiction to some foods that help to repair the cells that were damaged, and it gives you less sense of lack of that change or that feeling of satisfaction. In addition to that, I try to get them to always be snacking, but snacking on healthy food, pieces of fruit, pieces of vegetables, and it works. But the fact is that that is a serious misconception. I've been to many forums, churches, social organizations, and I ask the people to raise their hands by showing how many still using energy. And 2 to 3 years ago, I used to have at least 95 to 99% of the people were still using energy.
Let's
So that's
talk.
a serious problem in here.
Let's talk food and nutrition security. Um, what what do you want this? What do you want this new administration to do about food and nutrition security?
Well, I would like the new administration to deal with food and nutrition security in a more serious way than how the previous administration has dealt with it. And the first thing I would like them to do is to tell the people the truth, tell the region the truth, and tell the world the truth. Because food and nutrition security or food security exists when all the people, in this case all Ghanaians, at all times have access and availability of nutritious food, safe food, and they must be environment where any food that is socially accepted to them should not be a problem. In other words, they must not have any economic deprivation from having that food, and that must exist all the time. And irrespective of their food preference or their dietary needs, those foods must be available at all times. That is what food and nutrition security is all about. So imagine, in Ghana, we have unemployment is about 40%. And if the people are unemployed, it means they lack the economic means of gaining the resources to buy the food. So accessibility is up because you don't have the resources to access the food. The food may be available, but you cannot access it. Then there's another case or other cases where the food may be accessible, the food may be available, but the utilization of the food is another story. And those are three of the pillars of food security. And when I speak about utilization of the food, the individuals may be suffering from certain kinds of diseases. And when you are suffering from certain kinds of metabolic diseases, like diabetes and so on, you may eat the food but would not be able to use the food. In other words, the system, the organ system would not be able to digest the food. So in a case like that, one would have to have specific kind of food and stay away from other kinds that are detrimental to the system so that the utilization of the food is dealt with appropriately. Now, after all of that, and you have access, you have availability, and you utilize it, then the food must be stable. In other words, I must be able to have those kinds of food all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what are some costs to a government or to a nation if the citizens do not have adequate food or do not have food and nutrition security?
The first thing is that productivity is affected. So you would have a citizenry or a group of people in a society that would not be productive because they would not have the energy to do so. And because of the fact that you're food insecure, you are a sick individual. So what we have is a sick nation. And the people would not be able to go to work, and that happens a lot in this country, where we have people have to stay away from work, so they earn less. And if you are food secure, you'll be able to go out there, earn a living, take care of your family, the kids will be able to go to school and perform better at their general classes. They perform much better in the examinations. And what you find, I would like to ban all those unhealthy foods that are at the schools. The majority of the schools that you go to in this country are up front, right to the door, before you go into the school. 90% of the food that are sold there should not be there. They are just merely either very sweet food, very salty food. All of those they do add to the food insecurity of the population. What I would like to see happen, and the new government at least promised that we would probably have free food for students in the primary school system. But I would like to see that not only in the primary school, but also in the secondary school. And that is where we come to the question of hunger-free Guyana, zero hunger Guyana, because the people have a right to food security.
Mm-hmm. What are some factors that impact food security?
Well, in Guyana, a major factor was the negative effects of climate change. And to me, some of those negative effects of climate change um, sometimes are wrongly used. What we need to do is have better management of our drainage and irrigation system and go into the communities that have been neglected and clean those drains so that drainage could be effective. Because what is happening, some of our communities, especially communities of people of African descent in the old administration, or this administration is brand new, and there was neglect in those villages. Some of the areas there was no desilting or drainage operation done for 30 years in the background. So what happens when the flood comes or the water, when it rains for even a short period of time, the villages are flooded. So the people are not able to plant. And I am advocating that this new administration, the politicians did campaign for um, uh, taking the the food security issue to the villages, to all the villages, all the communities. And as a result, drainage innovations are primary factor. And we would expect the people to start feeding themselves because food sovereignty is very important. The villages must be able to feed themselves. It used to happen in the past, and we have to go back. We have to restore the villages the way they used to be and better.
So, what do you think happened? Why are the villages not able to feed or sustain themselves in
Because
agriculture?
unfortunately, there was a deliberate attempt not to take care of drainage and irrigation. I am convinced that if the drainage and irrigation position is solved, because even yesterday I spoke to some farmers in Buxton, and they indicated to me that because in Buxton, like Victoria, Pleasant, and many other areas, 95% of the homes do not have a kitchen garden. And 20, 30 years ago, every single home had a kitchen garden. And as I travel in Bobis and Essequibo, you find the same problem exists. So what has to happen? We have to go into the community and appeal to the people to come back to the land, to return to the land, and that we are going to be there. This new government is going to be there to support them. There are many areas also in the Indian areas, in the Amerindian areas that were neglected. We have to go into those communities, provide the basic infrastructure work. I mean, apart from drainage renovation, there's a need for road to access road to the farms. There, there are some areas that the entire road or the pathways have not been taken care of in 40 years. And it is real, it is true. The hardcore position is we have to fix those roads.
I guess that would require national education. How challenging do you perceive that going to be?
Well, we need to, it is not difficult because all we need to do is have intersectoral meetings involving all agencies that, uh, that have an interest in agriculture, food, nutrition, and health. And the various ministries have spoken to the vote, they are being ready and able to pitch in. But the leadership, it is very important that you have great leadership um, to channel people in that direction. So we have to have the government, the private sector, civil society, um, the state-based organization, and all other stakeholders. We all have to put our feet to flood and involve the people. The people are willing, ready, and able. they're hungry to get involved for the betterment of themselves. And I can assure you that we have the ability to have that job done.
What do you envision would happen if the masses begin to understand the importance of food and nutrition security?
Um, what if what we what we intend to do is, and I have found it very useful, is start with it from the level of the children, educate the children in schools in a formal way, and restore practical um, practical demonstrations for them in their environment. Reintroduce back home economics in the school system in a very effective way. Get the children to buy into it. The children now will take that story to the parents. And then finally, we have activities through the Parent Teachers Association to educate the parents. And, and at the same time, we talk to the leaders in the social environment, in the faith-based organizations, in other civil societies to carry this. And I am convinced, beyond the shadow of a doubt, that there will be majority buy-in, and then you'll have a snowballing effect, and the entire dilemma with food and nutrition security.
How can the government
I'm sorry?
how can the government help with food security?
The government would help by making it or declaring that is the priority of the government. And I have spoken to many of the government officials, the civil government, and already indicated that they're willing to support across the board. And we would have to have, the government would have to provide safety net. Or let's back up a little. The government has already promised that they would increase salaries by 10%. So by an increase in salary of the public servants, they would have additional resources they can use to buy food. The government also promised that they would remove the VAT, which is the taxation on the food items. So that makes the food more accessible. The government also indicated that they would provide free meals in schools, for the primary schools, and many other vulnerable environments. That would go far away. When you see that there is this holistic approach from the national level, then we can get other stakeholders, locally and internationally, to channel resources to assist the people. Because remember, Guyana only has 754,000 people. I'm convinced that we can do this, and we can do it very quickly. I'm confident that we will have zero hunger in this country within a 5-year period.
Before you go, time has crept up on us, and any project you're working on at the moment?
I'm sorry?
Any project you're working on at the moment that you care to share?
Well, I try to teach by example. So in the community that I live in Enterprise, I have a garden, a kitchen garden that makes me food secure. I plant a healthy garden, and I'm encouraging the people within the neighborhood to have healthy gardens, and that is picking up. And they are now planting not only in the yard but in front of the yard. And I'm also working directly with them to show for them, to teach them how they can prevent, control, and treat and reverse diseases by eating healthy. And fortunately, it is picking up within my community and it is spreading very fast. People are calling me from many parts of this country wanting to be part of this movement to help to make Ghana food and nutrition secure.
Thank you so much, Dr. DaSilva. And those in the audience who would like to hear much more of Dr. DaSilva, where he started, what he's working on, his vision for food and nutrition security, please tune in on CWS Journeys, Conversations with Selwyn.com on Wednesday evening from 8:30 to 9:30. So thank you so much, Dr. DaSilva.
Welcome, my brother. Nice talking to you and the feedback.
Have a good evening.
Thank you. Bye.